Lesson Basic 2. Miss Boma is here to have the first lesson on science with you. We are going to talk about diversity of matter. Diversity of matter. Matter. Diversity of matter. And under that, we are going to talk about the basic structure of plants. Basic structure of plants. To understand our lesson into details, we need to go through our keywords. So let us look at our keywords for today. Our first keyword is structure. Structure. The arrangement of parts to form a whole. So the moment I put one or two things together to form a whole, that means I'm forming a structure. You can see the pictures of things on your screen being put together. That is what I'm talking about. Our next keyword is function. Function. Function is the character or the behavior of something. So if you are talking about the function of something, you want to know the behavior or what the person does to a particular thing. The next keyword is feature. Feature. What does it mean? The physical makeup or appearance of something. The physical makeup or appearance of something. We all have different features. Look at the faces of those people over there. They have different features. They are all not the same. Very good. These are the keywords you are going to meet very often in the course of our lesson. Now, let's look at the various parts that form the structure of a plant. The various parts. Look on your screen very carefully. Can you see something colorful over there? What is that thing? It's a leaf. One is leaf. More than one is leaves. I hope you can see them over there. Okay. Let's look at another part. The other part is the stem. The middle part of a plant. Look at the arrow pointing at the middle part of a plant. That part is the stem. Let's move on to another part. Fruit. You can see so many fruits over there. So, plants gives us fruits. So fruit is also part of plants. It forms part of the structure. We also have the flower. Look at that flower. Flower is also part of a plant. Flower is also a part of a plant. It is from the flower in which the fruits develop. It is from the flower in which the fruits develop. So if you don't get the flower, you will not get the fruits. Good. Now let's look at the whole structure of the plant. Let's put all these parts together. So when we put all these parts together, we are going to have the structure of a plant. Look on your screen very carefully. You can see arrows pointing at the various parts of a plant. Let's start from the bottom. Before I continue with the structure, let's look at the roots. The root. The root is also part of the plant, but we don't often see them. They are always beneath the soil. Some of them, you see them in water. Some of the roots, you see them developing on other plants. Okay. Now, the structure of a plant. Look at the structure very carefully. Let's start from the bottom. What can you see? The roots. So the root forms part of the plant. Let's go up a little bit. Can you see the stem? That is it. It also forms part of the plant. Move up a little bit. What can you see? A leaf or the leaves. Those are the green parts of the plant. You move up a little bit. You see the flower. Remember I told you that the flower is the part in which the fruits develop. So before you see the fruits on the plant is supposed to develop the flower. So after the flower is developed well, the fruit comes out from the flower. So the final part of the plant is the fruits. So how many parts have we learned so far? 5. 5 parts of plants giving us the structure of a plant. Let's start from the bottom again. The roots, the stem, the leaves, the flower, and then the fruits. Very good. Then, how would you define plants? Now we know the various structures, the various parts forming the structure of a plant. So if somebody asks you to define or to explain what a plant is, what can you say? Okay, I have the definition there. A plant is a living thing that grows in the soil, water, or other plants. It has roots, stem, leaves, flower, and fruits. I'm taking it again. A plant is a living thing that grows in the soil, water, or on other plants. It has roots, stems, leaf, flower, and fruits. So that is a short definition of a plant. Okay. Now let's look at the various functions or the features of these parts of the word plant to the, of these parts to the plant. We said the plant is a structure which consists of different parts. So what use are these parts to the plant? They are doing something to the plant. That is why they are forming the structure. Okay, let's look at the leaf. I said leaf is the one leaf. Leaves is for the plural, more than one. What does it do, or how does it look like? We all know leaves are often green. So a leaf of a plant is often green, flat and thin. So they are all not the same. Most of them are green, others may have other colors. But most plants have the color to be green. Some of them can be flat, others will look thin. What does it consist of? The green coloring matter is called chlorophyll. That word is a little bit big, right? Don't worry. It's simple. It means the color of the plant and the leaf is known as chlorophyll. So this chlorophyll traps sunlight energy for the plant to prepare its own food. So you see the importance of the leaf. So imagine the plant without a leaf. Can it prepare its own food? Not at all. So the leaf of the plant is very, very important to the structure of the plant. Now let's look at the other part of the plant, which is the stem, the middle part of the plant. The stem. Can you see the stem on your screen? Good. Look at where the arrow is pointing to. What does it do, the stem? The stem is the main structure that supports leaves, flowers, or the fruits. It's the main structure or the main part that supports the plant. It transports water and minerals. It transports water and minerals from the root to the other part of the plant to help it grow. So you see how important the stem is to the plant too. What does it do? It supports the leaves, the flower, and the fruit. It also serves as the path in which minerals and water is what? Is transported to the other part of the plant. Isn't that interesting? Let's move on. Let's look at the other part of the plant. The flower. I love flowers a lot. Look at the color of this one. It's so beautiful. I know most of you are so much in love with it. But don't be carried away, okay? Let's look at the importance or the function of the flower to the plant. The flower is the most beautiful and attractive part of a plant. It's the most beautiful and attractive part of the plant. It attracts insects towards the plant. And insects like bee. Bee comes to take nectar from the flower to prepare honey. So the flower is the most beautiful part of the plant because it attracts insects. What does it also do? It helps the structure or it helps the plant to develop its fruits. I've said it before that the fruit develops from the flower. So that is one function of the flower. Let's finally look at the roots, which we always see in the soil, unless you uproot the plant before you can see the roots. So they are always in the soil. And some of them grow in water. So if it's not in the soil, it will be in the water. You see it beneath the water or on other plants. What does it do? The roots of a plant are branched and are hidden in the soil. So they are not one straight like that. They are divided into different branches, small like that. Just as you see it on the screen, sorry. Okay, so what do? They absorb water and minerals for the plants to grow. So when the root absorbs the mineral and water, it sends it to the what? To the stem. Then the stem also distributes it to the other part of the plant. Isn't that interesting? Hope you are enjoying the lesson. Very good. Now let's look at the various kinds of plants. You can give me so many examples of them, isn't it? The examples can be plantain, cocoyam, cassava plants, orange plants, and many others. But plants are also divided into different types. You see them like that, they are all not the same. You see some of them standing straight. Others are what? Lying on the ground. Others, you see them climbing something. Good. So they are the types. So the types are erect plant. Erect plant. So an erect plant can be the what? The mango plant, orange, banana, plantain. All the plants that stand erect are erect or straight. Even the coconut. The other type of plant is the climbing plant. From the word climbing. So what would you see the plant doing? It climbs something. It's either it's climbing a wall or a support. When you move around in your environment, try and look out for such plants. When you come on a Zoom meeting, you discuss them with me. The other type of plants that you can see in your environment is also known as the creeping plant. What does it do? To creep means to lie on the ground. So it grows by what? Lying on the ground. Okay, children. What have you learned today? Hope our first lesson in class 2 was interesting to you. I've enjoyed myself. Hope you've enjoyed yourself too. What did we talk about? We looked at the main structure of plants. What are the parts that forms the structure? The roots, the stem, the leaves, the flower, and the fruits. Those are the various parts that forms the what? The structure of a plant. We also went on to look at the functions of these parts. We said the leaf is always what? Green. And what does it do? It contains chlorophyll, which attracts sunlight to help the plant prepare its own food. I know the question that is going through your mind is, how can the plant prepare its own food? Don't worry. It's through a certain process known as photosynthesis. Okay. The other part, which is the stem, holds the what? The leaves, the branch, the fruit, the flower. And it also transports water and minerals to the other part of the plant. We also looked at the flower being the most beautiful and attractive part of the plant, which attracts insects. And it also helps the plants to develop its own fruits. And finally, we looked at the roots, which you always see beneath the plant. We said the roots does what? The root also transports water and minerals to the plant. Did we talk about the fruits? The fruit is also the edible part. The fruit bears, the plant bears fruit, which we can pluck, what, and eat. So the fruit is mainly the edible part of the plants. We looked at the types of what? Plants. What are the types? There are only 3. The erect plants, climbing plants, and creeping plants. Very good. Continue to be good children at home. And don't forget to keep adhering to the COVID-19 protocols. As in washing your hands with soap and water. The water should be running. So you wash your hand under running water. Use sanitizer if you don't have water around. And to continue to use your nose mask. You'll see me again. Until then, bye-bye.